into the brand split. This has been a very interesting week in the world. All right, John McCain has a brain tumor. There's one less member of Lincoln Park. Usher's going through some stuff. OJ's been.
The juice is loose.
Yeah, the juice is loose.
But we don't care about any of that.
This is the most. It's not going to be as interesting as this brand split's going to be. Because sitting in on this brand split, Adrian on the knobs.
What's up?
We have Adrian's sister and his father on this podcast. Adrian, how you feeling?
Just sweating bullets.
Pretty good, but I was a little nervous now.
I appreciate that you have faith in us that we can do this.
So I gave him the rundown. I warned him about you guys already, so it should be okay.
Oh, he took Mike's mic. Mike, have you heard the podcast before?
No, I have not. But I've heard about it.
Nice. Okay. First time, long time, I hear. Ann Rice, have you heard the podcast before?
Yes, I have actually.
Which one of us is your favorite?
Of course, I'm gonna have to go with my brother.
You don't have to say it. Bach is your favorite. It's okay. We understand. That's the consensus of everyone that we talk to.
I'll consider that a three-way tie between Milex and Baca. That's what that is.
Yeah, I'm third Mike, so.
What is your name, ma'am?
Anna.
And how long have you known Adrian?
His whole life.
Okay. Cool.
So, let's just get into it. Most embarrassing Adrian story.
There's so many to choose from, though.
There really is.
We have time to tell all of them if you want. So.
Well, in 1988.
You were born.
Is it true that Adrian pulled a Hollywood move and got you guys free tacos at Tacos, right?
Yes, that's so true.
So how did this happen, Adrian? You hit up Mr. Tacos Way, which first of all, I don't know why you call him Mr. Tacos Way. He's like, I'm here with Mr. Tacos Way. I'm like, all right, calm down. You're here with Tacos Way guy. All right, let's relax a little bit. So do you call this guy?
No,
do you call? See, again, everything was fine under control, and then Andy comes out. Not only does he get Lex excited, he gets Molly excited, but he gets Lex excited too. Now Lex doesn't know how to act.
That squirrel was actually Lex.
Yeah. So you call up Tacos Way and you say, hey, I have some family in town, have my table ready. Is that how it goes?
I don't call him, though, because we just went up to the waiter, and I said, hey, Gabriel, his name is Gabriel. I said, Gabe said he was going to be on the house today, and he's like, oh, why is that? I said, oh, I record his music, for the music videos. I said, I record them, and he's like, oh, really? He's like, oh, that's cool. He's like, all right, I just got to check with the manager first, and then check with the manager. He's like, oh, yeah, you guys are cool. And so
you just sit down and, like, snap your fingers and then just... tell the cook in the back like what you want.
When people are with me, yes. I gotta put on a good show.
You know what's coming.
Yeah,
the usual.
So has your brother Adrian told you that he's a big superstar ever since he moved to LA? Some people say since he moved to LA and when he became friends with Baca. It depends on who you ask. When the superstardom started, but 2 weeks ago he was recognized at the park. We were out at a place and somebody said, hey, aren't you Adrian? And he said, yes, I am. So does he keep you guys sheltered from this Hollywood lifestyle he's living? Okay. And he doesn't talk about his dating life at all, right?
No.
Okay. There's not much to talk about, to be honest.
So, Baca, can you explain why you stole those shorts you're wearing right now?
So listen, if it was just us here, I wouldn't care. But I want to explain to you guys that one, I'm not on house arrest. Two, I didn't steal these pants. I bought them at Walmart, and for some reason they didn't take the security dog tag. Is that what you call it? It's not the security dog, right? It's the security tag. They didn't take it off, so I've been walking around all day like this, and I honestly don't know what to do. I could take it to a dry cleaners, and they could say, okay, you want us to remove the security tag off your stolen pants, or I could just keep walking around like I'm on house arrest. But it is Van Nuys, so it doesn't really phase much people.
I feel like you fit in Van Nuys.
It makes me fit in more now, right?
But if you're to leave Van Nuys, please might stop you and ask you some questions.
Do you like the city of Van Nuys?
So far, yeah.
Now, you were hesitant a little bit. I've learned in my experience when you ask somebody a question, they're hesitant. It's kind of like, no, not really.
I mean, I've never experienced anything bad here, so.
Yeah. No.
Well, Adrian has. First of all, this might be your first experience, number one. Number two, Adrian has these exaggerated stories all the time. That some guy tried to rob him at gunpoint, and he hit the gun out of his hand, and he said, hey, we'll clean up this neighborhood. It's time for a change.
We're going to make Van Nuys like Tucson.
Yeah. So, you're from Tucson, correct?
Yes.
How would you describe Tucson compared to Van Nuys?
Well, I mean,
That's a good question.
I'm not very familiar with. Are you talking just like
I'm just
specifically
talking
Van
just
Nuys?
LA,
Or,
LA
okay.
in general.
Well, first of all, it's
There's nobody named Mr. Tacos Way in Tucson, right? They
yeah.
would be laughed out of the city, right?
I mean, we have
Don't mock that.
Güero Canelo, which means
Oh, that's cool.
like
The cinnamon-
redhead.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So I think
That's what we call Lex.
yeah.
The translator.
Who likes Arizona Wildcats more?
Don't even go there.
Me
I
and
feel
your
like we should have a quiz or
me and your
something.
brother, we went to. This sounds strange. We went to the movies together the other day. So it sounds strange. I don't know why I had to like justify that, but we went to the movies the other
Hey, we
day.
went to dinner before too.
Yeah, but if it was just us, I wouldn't have to justify it, right?
Yeah.
It's because you guys are here. I need to be like, whoa. So, anyways, we went to the movies and we walk out, and there's a guy that has an Arizona Wildcats shirt on. And Adrian couldn't contain himself. He walks up. He says, "Oh, dude, I like your shirt. I like your shirt." The guy's halfway in the middle of a conversation, by the way. And Adrian just steps in and says, "Oh, dude, I love your shirt. I love your shirt." And then this guy starts like just naming off all these like sports figures and sports places I've never even heard of. And you could just, if Adrian had to tell, it would just be wagging all over the place. So
Speaking of movies, last time we were hanging out, we were about to go get wings. You were like, we saw the billboard for the Emoji Movie, and then you're like, "Man, that movie looks terrible, right?" And then
no,
you
I said
quoted
it's
like
stupid.
And then you quoted like 3 lines, and you're like, "All right, maybe I'll go check it out by myself, like on a Tuesday
I'll
morning."
check it out on Tuesday. But we made a decision that if I'm going to go watch the Emoji Movie, I need to buy a children's ticket and an adult's ticket, even if I'm going by myself, right?
Yeah. And then someone you know is going to see you in the movie theater, and you're like, "Yeah, I'm watching Spider-Man." He's like, "Oh, well, me too. I'm going to walk you over there." Yeah. He's like, "Oh, well, I need to go to the restroom first." "Hey, I'll walk you over there."
I'll wait. So I think automatically the movie theater needs to. I think they call the police. They call somebody when somebody over the age of 15 says, "Hey, let me get one for the Emoji Movie," right? It's like when they
and then they look down, seeing like, "Oh, do you need a child seat?"
Yeah.
Like looking for your kid too.
Yeah.
Like, no.
I'm just me by myself.
Yeah.
It's like when they invite all of the Raiders fans for free ticket giveaway, right?
Yeah.
And they just arrest everyone because they assume they have warrants when they get there. So. You guys went to a baseball game today, right? How was the baseball game?
Amazing.
Amazing?
Yes.
Your team lost us, so it can't be that amazing.
I haven't seen them in 5 years, so.
Can you explain?
And I caught a ball.
Did you really?
I mean, not I didn't actually catch it, but
you managed to
I
get
got it.
So what happened?
Did
They hit it
Adrian
up?
like punch
She
a
stole
kid
it from me.
and then
No.
took the ball from the kid and then gave it to you? Because that's
no, I
Adrian
got it all
Reno.
on my own.
So what happened? It was a foul ball?
No, it was the third out.
Oh, they tossed it to
The
you?
right fielder caught the fly ball, and then he tossed it to the center fielder, and the center fielder tossed it to the audience, and it fell on the seat right in front of me.
Wow, what a life. That's the Hollywood experience,
And
right?
she wouldn't stop giggling afterwards.
Mr.
It was a
Adrian's
magical
dad.
time.
Do you have any embarrassing stories about Adrian?
Can I say before you say anything, you and Adrian look exactly alike, right? You guys look exactly alike. Just two really good-looking men, but you look exactly alike.
I've never heard that before. It's never been brought up before.
Yeah,
I've
I
never
can
heard
imagine. I can imagine.
Oh,
Do you
there's quite a few.
Don't hold back. Yeah. There's
Well, I think the one when he was older and he
If you don't speak to the mic, he yells at you. So
was when,
this guy's a mic Nazi over here, man.
The story just got more embarrassing, by the way.
no, this is I guess when he was in high school and he was trying to be healthy and running, and
Dude, you guys are such bad guys.
and
You
he's,
guys are so
going,
bad.
he's running through our river. We have a river through town, Santa Cruz River, and he slips and he slides down the bank of the river.
Oh my gosh.
Adrian, comments?
Yeah, Adrian, do you want to elaborate on that?
I got a huge scar on my butt now.
Pull it out.
So I was sliding down the bank of the river to try to get into the river, and then and I was wearing like some shorts, like some soccer shorts. And as I was going down, the shorts pulled up and left my butt like
dude.
exposed. And I didn't notice at the time, but me and my sister was running through the river, and she's like, "Wait, stop!" And I was like, "What?" She's like, "Your shorts are like full of blood." And then so I looked, and there was like a big gash.
And because of that, you just had to move out of Tucson, right? That's why you moved to LA. You were so embarrassed that you couldn't even live in the city anymore, right?
That was the end of my soccer career.
How did you like the baseball game today, Adrian?
It was good. I got sunburn all over the place. But
Nice.
That's what happens.
How old are you now, Adrian? 26, 27, 28?
28.
At what age do you learn to put on some suntan lotion, right? Like, this can't be your first time, right?
Suntan lotion.
Oh, where do you guys start? I've never used suntan lotion in my life.
It's sunscreen. It's sunscreen, dude. Suntan lotion.
Listen, again, you can see my
if you put
lack
suntan
of...
lotion, you would look like you by the end of the game.
You can see my lack of experience. You can see my lack of experience in that department. So,
Yeah.
so at what age do you learn that, hey, maybe you should put something on?
Never.
Never.
I was trying to get a tan too because I pulled on my shirt a little bit and I'm
Ooh.
in case you can't tell, I'm a little white above the sleeves, and so I pulled on my shirt and I got a little crispy on there too.
Oh, nice.
How much do you dislike Andy?
Yeah, because we don't like him at all. So,
So no, that's not that
no
bad.
comment answers the question for us. The fact that he stood there silently and
It's
stoic
my back, Mike.
is awesome.
Andy's like one of our other sons.
There you go.
You know,
But sometimes
I got a story with Andy, Adrian.
Let's do it. This
And
is your
another friend of
podcast,
his.
sir. This is your podcast.
Another friend of his. That they're three really good friends. That they're hanging out at the house. Andy and Eric were over at the house, and Adrian comes up to me and wants to know if they can move the furniture in the family room so they can do some fighting. And so I asked him, what do you mean? He says, we're going to do some MMA in the family room.
Didn't Eric have gloves or something?
We all had gloves.
Yeah. They all had gloves. And so I'm, told them to be careful. And then we went back to the room and you could hear the punches, all the grunts, and, from the hits and everything. And then I'm just waiting for somebody to have a yell and start real fighting.
Yeah.
But they did a few times, during the year when they were in school. But
I remember hearing someone gagging.
Oh, no.
That was Eric.
We want to keep this podcast PG as much as we can. So I appreciate your input, but
Can you explain your illegal underground
yeah.
fighting?
Well, you're not supposed to talk about it, dude.
Eric started out with the gloves first, and then Andy got some, and Andy got a pair for me for my birthday.
Nice.
And then so it was like every weekend we were moving the table and the couches to the walls, and
Well, can I say, what a friend.
I was
that he
undefeated,
gives
by
you-
the way.
He gives you a bit of clubs so you guys could fight each other, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I think that was more of a gift for Andy than it was for Adrian.
That's a good friend.
So did you do any grappling, or did you just
Yeah.
stand there and then take a couple punches?
it was
and then...
it was you do anything besides headshots.
You guys were intense, man.
That's why we're still as beautiful as we are today.
Did you ever get a point where you got really frustrated and you're like, you know what, next match we're doing headshots?
No, but Eric would get really mad. Like he would get really mad, and he'd like start cussing, and then he had to cool down in the corner for a
Are you
little
guys
bit.
still friends with Eric?
Yeah,
Are you sure?
yeah.
So you're undefeated. Were you middle of the pack, or
Yeah.
were you just like lost all the Andy all the time, but you beat
He
Eric's
was middle of
ass?
the pack of 3 people.
At least it wasn't last.
Yeah. At least I wasn't last. That's right.
In all honesty, your brother and your son is one of the nicest people I know, and I figured out he's that way because he's not from LA. Because everyone from LA is bad people. So.
Yeah, I agree.
Like Lex and Brian, they're close to LA, so somewhat bad people. And I'm just corrupted as hell. So, but he's really, I would say he's one of my best friends.
I
and
warned him about you already.
I would
so-
like to say, since I came into his life, there's been a big transition of it's going out more, he's having more confidence.
A lot more confidence.
A lot more confidence. A little bit too much confidence. Some people say. Some people say a little bit too much confidence, but that's for a different podcast.
That's for next
And
week.
he's the man. Did he tell you that we started a podcast here and now he has like 10 podcasts out of field because he's not loyal? So yeah, like I said, ever since we came in his life, things been extremely
And he has like 10
different.
more friends.
Yeah, well now he has 10 friends. So yeah, a lot more. What's your most embarrassing Adrian story, Andy?
Oh Lord.
Jasmine's waiting to jump in too. So
Oh no, most of the stories, like, they're not embarrassing, like funny. It's more like, oh, he tried, and then you don't want to make fun of him for it. So I don't really have any.
I want to hear him. I want to hear one.
Oh man, come back to me. I gotta think about it.
What a
bad guys. He comes in here, he distracts everyone, he causes a scene, and then he doesn't want to interact on the podcast. Then he figures out he wants to be a little bit too reserved. So,
Yeah.
when do you guys go back to Arizona?
We're leaving tomorrow.
Would you ever be interested in your life to move out to LA? Or
No.
No. Why is that?
Right away.
Why is that? What's wrong with LA?
Her brothers and her dad are right here.
See, again,
Should
this
I
guy's
call
just
Valerie?
a
Should I call
bad guy,
Valerie or
dude.
what?
It's just a
Do you
bad
see
guy.
what's going on?
What's wrong with LA that you have such a disdain in your for it?
I mean, it's
here?
not necessarily anything wrong. It's just too big. Like,
Yeah.
Tucson is perfect for me.
Tucson's just a nice.
Yeah.
Do you know most of the people in Tucson?
No.
Good majority of the people in Tucson.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
that's what
I
I'm
was
saying.
born and raised there, so I feel
How
like
do you feel about Mike Bibby?
he's
Bad
awesome.
guy. There you
Thank
go.
God.
Mike
She
Bibby's
said
the
he's a
god.
bad guy.
No.
So.
Baby's a goat.
Baca
Me and-
said that if you had the chance and you saw him, it would be on site and you'd
Me
fight
and
him
Mike
without.
Bibby, we have a long-lasting feud. So.
I tracked him down. When was the last Red Blue game? It was in October?
Yeah, it was in October.
Yeah. And so I got a picture with him, so.
Is that why? Remember the picture Adrian sent us of Mike Bibby? But he's like, it's like a strange stalking photo. And like when we went to the USC game, he kind of tried to stalk that Arizona coach,
Luke
right?
Olson?
Yeah.
Lute Olson.
What else have
They
you
don't
done?
understand that Lute Olson's like a god. They don't get it. They don't get it.
Relax.
True
I'm
story.
sure. I'm sure God is for the same way with the, What else have you done with your family since they've been in LA, Adrian? Besides just bad mouthing us.
This trip, we went to Malibu yesterday. Got some food. Went to the game earlier today and came back and made some dinner. Doing the podcast now. They're leaving tomorrow. We're gonna meet up. I gotta work tomorrow, but they're gonna meet me on lunch.
So-
Take the day off, man.
I want to know.
I'll call your boss.
How did you prepare him for us? What did you say about us?
They're the worst people ever. Just take whatever they say with a grain of salt, and
This could be accurate or you're joking, but
you'll
I
never know.
want to know word for word. What
No,
did you
actually, I
say?
told them that they know about you guys. They know that you guys started as a wrestling podcast. And
We're not a wrestling podcast. Stop telling people that. We're not a wrestling podcast.
We're not a wrestling
We're
podcast.
not a wrestling podcast. I keep telling you, stop telling people that. You keep telling people that.
We did just watch 4 hours of wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. Sure, we watch at least 4 hours of wrestling every 2 weeks, but that's not the point. We're not a wrestling podcast, all right? Stop telling people that.
No, but I told them that you guys are all good guys, and I take you home to meet the parents.
Right.
He did say that.
We try to keep this PG, so.
He likes
Not-
you enough that he wants to take you guys to Tucson.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I don't know if that's a good thing for somebody like me to go to. So.
Yeah,
I heard I have to carry my birth certificate with me at all times, so. I don't want no trouble.
They might ask
No,
some
I
questions.
can't say me. I don't even speak Spanish. Listen, bud. Listen here, Pedro.
They don't,
Get you moving, okay?
They don't discriminate against Polynesian
Yeah.
dudes, just Mexicans.
I don't know why you two think that's the funniest joke ever. Every time he says that joke, you guys think it's the funniest joke ever.
Because you don't look black or Mexican.
Guys are ugly. It's not a funny joke, and you guys pop
You end
so
up back
hard
in
for it.
Maui.
You guys pop so hard for it. It doesn't make any sense. To me.
Yo, you look like the dude from Moana, but without hair.
Oh, I've been working out, man. I appreciate it.
That's a compliment.
I
All the tats,
appreciate it.
the
man.
tats ain't helping your case either.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Speaking of tats, can we talk about Lex's tats on the
Oh, I wanna
podcast?
see
or
it.
no? We could edit it out if we.
No.
So, Mr. Adrian, Lex is a bad guy, and his mom said,
Wait,
I
talking
love
to me
you,
or my
son.
dad?
You're regular Adrian.
Yeah, you're regular
regular
Adrian.
Adrian.
Mr. Adrian.
He's Mr. Adrian.
Lex's mom walks her butt off all the time. Lex
Put him in a nice mansion.
He lives in a mansion. I pulled up to Lex's house. I said, fine. I said, what are we doing here? So we're going to pick up Lex. I said, yeah, but why are we here? He said, this is where Lex lives. I said, this is where Lex lives? No wonder he looks down on me in my studio apartment, right? Yeah. And all his mom said, just, son, please graduate college and don't get any tattoos. 2 weeks later, this guy spent $700 on tattoos in the last 2 weeks. So yeah, good job, Lex. Show everyone your tattoo because the guys haven't seen it yet. You're so shy to show off your tattoo, right? He's been waiting for this question
You
all
spent
week.
$350 on a tattoo that you don't want to show
Yeah.
anybody.
That's cool. That's actually pretty cool.
So it's Darth Vader.
I seen it.
Yeah. So, so the dreaded moment we've been talking about in the past 4 podcasts has finally arrived. So my parents were preparing for their vacation to El Paso, Texas, and I had timed
You could
it.
tell they have a lot of money because most people don't go vacation in El Paso, Texas,
Well,
right?
that's where
Unless
the
you have some money. You
That's
know?
where the extended family lives, and so I had timed it pretty poorly because I had arrived home, and as soon as I parked, everyone was outside. My whole family was outside. I was like, oh crap! So I, put on my basketball NBA sleeve, on one arm, and I'm wearing like short sleeves. So I walk in, yeah. So I walk up to my family and I start talking to everyone, and then my parents come out and they go in the car, like they're literally about to okay, bye everyone. And I just kind of see my mom just staring at me, and I was like, oh crap! So let me just go back to talk to my brother and my neighbor, and so then my mom was like, Alexis, come here, and she's like, oh, this way. I was like, okay, cool. She's like, when we get back, we're gonna have a talk. And I was like, oh no. So,
well, this is what you say. You say, Mom, you can't expect me not to rebel against you when you name me Alexis, right? You name me Alexis, I'm going to rebel against you. I'm pissed off. So, what's going to happen? They're going to come back in a week, and your allowance is going to go down to $500 a week. That's it.
All of a sudden, I'm going to see Lex with a big bandage and it's just full of blood.
Well, it's just going to be cut out, right?
Yeah,
You're gonna cut it out.
it's
That'd be cool. That'd be a good story to tell for the podcast.
yeah, exactly.
Are you scared when your mom comes back?
I'm glad that it's finally about to happen now.
What if it's not about the tattoo? What if it's about something else?
Yeah.
Imagine, that'd be crazy.
That'd be great.
And then I'm like, I'm sorry, Mom, and like I'm like all like wearing the short sleeves just out now, and she's like, wait, what's that? I'm like, wait, but I thought you knew. She's like, no, we were gonna have a talk about how we were gonna help you through Cal Poly or wherever I go next.
28 years of your life. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, but
does your dad know about your tattoo, Adrian? Oh.
Dun dun dun.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Now I feel awkward now. I'm sorry.
So we're not the best influences. We've been trying to get Adrian to get a tattoo for the last 3 months, but he wouldn't do it.
You better not get a stinking tattoo.
I like that. He's gonna be upset when he finds out you have a tacos way tattoo. That's why you get the free. Listen. You think you get free food because you record it? You press a button on the machine. Listen. So
that's how I get free food. I just flash the
what's on the other arm?
No, but Adrian's been putting his foot down. He says, I'm not getting any tattoos.
Yeah.
He said, my family would be disappointed in me. So,
and Lex doesn't care if his family's disappointed in him.
Lex, when you come up with that much money, you don't care about anything, right? What's going to happen? They're going to kick him out?
I just feel like I was born in disappointment, so I just continue just disappointing as I go, and that's why I do a podcast with you.
You've seen the meme, they're like, you can't always point at his head. You say, you can't disappoint your family if they don't have any expectations for you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So there you go. That's good to go.
Gotta keep the expectations low.
So did you guys come out to LA just to visit Adrian because you missed him?
No, they just want to go to a baseball game.
Oh, is that really why you came out
Depends
with a
on
baseball
who
game? There you go.
I came for the game.
Who's your favorite player on Boston?
Of all time or currently?
Oh, let me ask my questions. How about we do that? It can't be that hard of a question, right?
It is, because I like them all right now. The outfield.
Name one.
The 3 outfielders with Mookie Betts, Jackie Bradley Jr., and Andrew Benintendi.
And who's your favorite Red Sox of all time?
I mean, David Ortiz, of course.
Big Papi, man. Big Papi's the
Nomar's
man.
getting no love.
Yeah?
I know.
You like Manny Ramirez?
I thought he was funny. He was very.
You don't want your
I don't care that he batted over 300.
Yeah, you don't want your
Just
baseball
seems like a
players to
funny
be
guy.
funny. You want them to be good,
No,
right?
I mean, he was good, but I think his off-field antics
Yeah, I agree.
were pretty hilarious.
So, I'm trying to hook your brother up on a date. That's my goal in life the last 6 months. So,
Okay.
what kind of woman should I try to hook your brother up on the date
Oh my
with?
god.
Because you know him more than anybody. So,
And it has to happen within 2 years.
yeah. Do they know about this crazy thing that you keep saying?
I just said that I want to be married by the time I'm 30.
Okay. Don't you think that's crazy? Because how old are you now? 28?
28.
Okay, don't you think that's crazy?
He's 29 in
I mean, yeah.
So what? So you have to meet somebody in the next year and a half. You need to meet somebody.
It
you
could
need
be
to
an
court
arranged
them.
marriage.
You need to.
I'm not opposed to an arranged marriage.
There you go.
That's on you, Mike.
This is the United States of America. We don't do that here.
So what type of woman should we hook your brother up with?
Oh, I don't know.
No idea. I'm sorry. Don't worry about it. We're trying to do a podcast. These guys,
I'm getting distracted.
they do whatever they want. Yeah, no, it's fine.
Well, first of all, someone who's a family person, because our family is very
That would
close, and I think that's
So I'm looking for a family person.
yeah.
I got you.
That's got to be the most important person.
Adrian, what are you looking for? What's the most important thing that you need in a woman?
About 5'8".
Oh my gosh.
That's not bad.
That's a good height.
How tall are you, Adrian?
Like 6'1".
Oh, come on, let's be honest, dude.
No, really.
You're not 6'1".
I'll say he's about 6'1". I'm about 6 foot, and he's a little taller.
No, because I'm 6 foot and I'm taller than him. So
You didn't?
you lying?
Did you adjust the volume for Andy yelling?
Yeah. This guy's a distraction. He's canceling the podcast. Dude. He's canceling the podcast.
The truth needs to be told.
So,
6'1".
so 2 years, Adrian. We have 1.5 time, right?
I got like
A year and a half.
Yeah.
Every day is a
Yeah.
It's time
Every
wasted.
day matters, right? Every day matters.
right now.
My biological clock is ticking.
It is.
I'm expecting a niece in the next few weeks. So
Nice.
my biological clock is
I think
ticking.
you're gonna start saying when you expect to have your own.
Are you the
kid.
one that's
I was like,
producing the
what?
niece?
No.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say you're hiding the pregnancy well.
Yeah.
So
Adrian has the most baby fever out of all of us right now.
wow.
Oh,
Well,
Can we also tell your sister the story about how when you walk into the Kanye side of French fry place, they know what you want already? And I didn't tell you this, but me and Valley went to go get Kanye side of French fries the other day, and they said, "Where's your friend?" I said, "Who?" They said, "The guy with glasses on." And I said, "Oh, we're not with him today." And she said, "This guy comes here all the time, and I know what he wants." So maybe, and you know what I told her? I don't want to say it's for your sister, but I said, he's single. So maybe you and the Kanye, listen, free Kanye side of French fries. Forget the 5'8", right?
and she'll probably be done within 2 years.
Yeah,
of the
oh
day.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think she needs a visa, so you'll be good to go. Right? That's a plus. Visa.
So,
hey, she can cook, so that's plus
That's
already.
all that matters, dude.
so my
Will I be in line to inherit the restaurant? Then?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You get in here with all that debt. It's fine.
Tacos way.
So Baca,
Yes.
I know you want to get into politics, Councilman Baca, right?
Yes.
So, what is
Did you see how she just laughed at me when you said that?
what is your take on homeless people? Because one time we were driving by.
That's better.
One time we were driving by and you said, "What makes people think they could just camp out
I
here
never
all
said
the time?"
that. I never
So
said that.
I want to know why you
I never
how
said
you feel
that.
about that.
I want to know why I sent my friends an email from the NCAA about how not NCAAP or whatever. Because the NCAA is the college.
How does NAACP?
About how they
You
want
are
to give.
Polynesian.
Listen. How they want to give me an award and for all the charity acts I do, and nobody says anything, and then Adrian sends a stupid meme and everyone's all over it, right? I think this group's priorities are out of whack so far, right?
I
Something we
think
need to
they're
figure
exactly
out.
what they need to be. Okay, there you go.
I don't know what you're talking about. I never said anything about. We have a major homeless issue in Los Angeles that we need to address. I don't know what you're talking about.
Or a camping issue, what you said?
Yeah, I knew
It's
this
stupid.
kid that used to sleep outside of gas stations. So
Yeah, I used to sleep behind the gas station, 100%.
How was that?
And I pulled myself up by my Nike boots, and here I am today, hanging out with
Because
Adrian.
Nikes
so-
don't have bootstraps, right?
No.
You had to.
So it was super tough. Before we get out of it, we're gonna talk a little bit of wrestling. How did you feel about
You're embarrassing me.
Battleground? When we walked out of my apartment today, and you had the little cheap championship belt, I said, and my friend, he's my friend, but the guy that lives in my building, he was outside. I said, "Hey, put the belt away, put the belt away, put the belt away." And then I said, "Hey, put a little Indian kid away, put a little Indian kid away."
So we have it where
Lex is the little Indian.
if there's a tie, it's champion's advantage,
Yes.
and champion just retains, even if he's not the one who tied with the person.
All right,
And
now I'm starting to feel a little embarrassed too. So
so I'm gonna say, after defending it 5 pay-per-views in a row, I believe either I won at one and I've defended it 4 times, or I've won it 5 times. We're getting really bad now.
Yeah, you're
We need to address a tiebreaker situation.
what do you want to have the tiebreaker?
I don't know. We could discuss, like how sometimes people retain championships, but they lose. We could say who walks out champion, and that includes Baron Corbin, who has the Money in the Bank.
You could say how somebody wins it.
Yeah.
So if it's just disqualification.
So we'll just announce a match, and we'll discuss how.
So a match, if you guess it right, should be a point, and if you guess how they win, it should be a half point.
All right.
You want to do that? We're
Yeah,
all
let's
in
do
for
that.
that. Adrian's going to act like he doesn't get involved in this type of thing.
What
But
about us?
Adrian's all over this type of stuff.
Now, he
so.
didn't give us his picks today.
Well, yeah, because he was in Billings to pull his phone out with his family here, dude.
Right, like, you're
I don't
probably giving us our picks, and then your sister looked over and was like, hey, what are you doing on your phone?
I don't want them to look at my
Uh-huh.
browsing history and see WWE picks.
There's worse in your browsing history.
I didn't find anything else, but if they saw the WWE picks,
Are you watching
they might ask some
wrestling?
questions.
Not everything else.
I liked Battleground, though, answering your original question.
I liked it as well.
was
Lex,
pretty-
how did you feel about it?
I thought it was a really good.
You were
pay-per-view.
asleep for the first 10 minutes. So.
Yeah, it was.
The best part of tonight was Lex said, man, I can't wait for this Court Angle 24 to come out. And Brian said, it's been out for 2 weeks. Oh, I guess I can't wait for it to come out. All right, so what's the plan? We're going to get out of here? What are we doing?
Or do you want to... There has to be one more story. Andy,
One more story.
Did you think of a story, Andy? Imagine Andy's not even here.
You can't even.
Jasmine, do you know any embarrassing Adrian stories? You've
What's
known him
going
for-
on with you, Jasmine? How's life?
Oh, show me tat.
Show us your tat. What is it? Nice.
She has
Oh,
a
that's
skeleton
dope.
tattoo because
What's
she
the
doesn't have a mic, so...
She has a skeleton tattoo. What does the skeleton represent? All your friends are dead?
I'm a huge fan of Lil Uzi.
Lil Uzi Vert.
Big fan.
There you go.
No, I don't know. I thought in school it's like she's still dancing even after she's dead.
Oh, there you go.
She's still dancing after she's dead.
There you go.
I like that.
You have one more embarrassing Adrian story for us? Yeah, I mean, I think.
Okay, so check it out.
I think
So-
you embarrassed him enough by saying he has the most baby fever out of your whole family right now.
Yeah, that's a good story. So me, Eric, and Adrian, right? Eric's like our third wheel, and
Just like how Baca is mine and Lexus through.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. He's like the Baca of Tucson. You know what I mean? He's kind of like around. He has his own podcast.
You guys are real funny.
Hey, Baca, nice comeback. Anyway, so we're driving around, right? And there's like outside of like a restaurant, there's a gym holding like an event. And they have like this big tent and says like Bally Total Fitness on it, right? And we pull up and the guy walks up to us and he's all buff, just like cut off shirt. And he walks up to Adrian and he goes, hey man, you guys work out? And Adrian goes, does it look like I work out? And the guy stops dead in his tracks and just turned around and walked back towards his tent.
We're shopping. We're shopping for prom.
Yeah, we're
prom
looking for
tuxedos.
prom dresses together.
Dresses.
So,
Yeah.
Well, if we're gonna say this, then when we were coming back from the movies the other night, there was a new gym that opened up the street from where we live.
I was gonna say, so for anybody that knows, me and Baca like to interact with complete strangers, and Lex and Val get very nervous when we do it.
Well, this one's a little bit different. We pull up. I said, "Yeah, this is a new gym. Check it out." And we pull up in front of it. And Adrian, for some reason that still doesn't make sense to me, because you can see the people in the window walking out. He screams out, "Keep it moving, fatty!"
Yeah.
And I said, "Dude, you're gonna get me shot one day." And he said, "Calm down, everything's gonna be fine." And then we left. So,
Adrian, why'd you say that?
yeah.
I was feeling. I was channeling Baca after.
Can we talk?
Did you feel those people in the gym had too much confidence?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Can we talk about how the Hooters woman said that she loved me the other day?
Well, if you want to.
Because-
that seems like you want to
Buffalo
talk.
Wild Wings.
Oh,
Buffalo Wild Wings.
That seems like you want to talk about it. So.
But when
makes
I
it less
walked out,
cool
I
as
said I
Buffalo
love you, and
Wild
she
Wings.
said I love you too, and now we're in a serious relationship. So that's the end of the story, you know. Nah, let's do that. Mark that on the podcast.
Hey,
man.
seriously, on the low, don't mark it when you edit
No,
that.
mark that.
You know how you didn't edit things
Yeah,
like 2
about
weeks ago?
about how this. Oh my gosh, these people invited us. They invited the podcast to come. They have like this singers party, and they said, "Hey, have your
A
friends
singers
come."
party?
Yeah, they said, "Have your
karaoke
friends
night?
come." And then you guys can talk about the podcast.
Singles
They say,
party.
cool. So then Adrian and Lex go.
Your
Adrian
son
just,
went to a singles night. How do you feel about that?
listen, Adrian
He's
just
like, it's about time.
They want
Adrian
more
just
grandbabies, that's why.
Adrian just dominated the whole event. That's number one. Number two,
I thought Thomas dominated, but all right,
Like,
go on.
did.
Lex looked at Adrian's phone and he was just deleting numbers at the end of it. So.
because at some point all the names become confusing,
Yeah.
right? So we said a bad, inappropriate joke about that company that invited
What
us
do you
out.
mean we?
Us, the podcast. The podcast
So
said
Baca
an
said something
inappropriate
bad, go on.
joke. And I said, dude, that's a bad joke. You're going to listen to this. Make sure you mark that and edit that out, Adrian. He said, no problem. So I'm at home and I'm listening to the podcast and I hear this inappropriate joke that seems like it lasted for 5 minutes. Good times. I appreciate you being a good sport and jumping on the podcast. It
Yeah.
took us
Thank you.
20 episodes to get Adrian on and 25 for him to say something. Now he doesn't shut up. So,
That's what happened. You made me third mic.
yeah. Mr. Adrian, I appreciate it.
His name is Mike.
Mike. Well, I don't feel it's respectable to call Mr. Mike. I'll call you Mr. Mike. There you go.
Mr. Rice.
If Adrian could call Mr. Tacos Way, Mr. Tacos Way, I guess that's
His last
something
name is
different.
Rice. I don't know why you're.
Nah, it's difficult for me to say some words, so.
That made so much sense. Oh my god.
Is that just called whites?
So, Adrian.
That sounds like the dude from Breaking Bad.
So, Adrian. Again, see, cancel for the podcast. It's funny for everyone else, but everyone listening, like, what, these guys stopped talking for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
No other podcast does that. That's fine. Who cares? We're not taking it serious. It's not a big deal.
No.
Adrian, before the next year and a half, we have to hook you up with a woman that has to produce seeds, because if she doesn't produce seeds, she's out, right? It's a no-go.
Yeah.
And you got, listen, I want to put everything on the table. You got mad at me when I walked in. You said, why are you commenting on my ex-girlfriend's Facebook page? I said, number one, I didn't know you had an ex-girlfriend. Number two, I don't even know who that is. So tell me who it is so I can delete off my Instagram, my Facebook right now.
All right.
I'm not gonna tell you on the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Does Baca know her personally?
Listen,
She's met her like twice.
listen.
So it's,
She knows we're talking about her because there's not a lot of ex-girlfriends. Right?
The list is short.
No.
Okay, so it's fine, dude. But that's my choice. So
you think she listens to the podcast?
No.
Well, how do you know she doesn't listen to podcasts? We had 250 downloads last episode, so somebody's listening. Look how scared he is right now, and he realizes that much people listen to podcasts,
I don't think
right?
I've talked about her.
Okay, all right. I get the hint. I get the hint.
All right.
We're gonna sign out. Where can they find you at, Brian? Now that Adrian made everything awkward.
You can find me at the Gray Area TV on Instagram or at BrianAndrew_. Are we shouting people out?
Wait, I have a question. Does he
Yeah,
look
we're
like,
gonna shout
does he
people
look
out.
like me? We look alike?
I'm a little thinner though, right?
Could he pass as your son?
Like if I had my hair like that and I liked Arizona a little bit more.
Yeah, if you liked Arizona a little bit more.
So
fun fact, though, he has a Gilbert Arenas jersey.
I do.
He owns a Gilbert Arenas jersey.
Well, I think I have a Gilbert
Okay.
Arenas jersey now.
It's a U of A Gilbert Arenas jersey.
Yeah.
Are you
All right,
real?
that's good enough.
You know,
You'll
Gilbert
do.
Arenas is from Van Nuys.
Yeah, I took him by
Yeah.
high school.
Oh, cool. That's why he's mentally ill and he's jumping in Nick Young's backyard. And, dude, the stuff that he was doing to Nick Young's son is unbelievable,
Yeah.
right?
This
He
is
said
like a
he
year
liked me.
old,
And he said
too.
no. He said I don't give a damn. He threw a scooter, right?
Yeah.
It's a bad guy. Imagine me going to your house after a public breakup, and I'm painting on your walls to cover up a woman's name, right?
yeah.
And I put it on Instagram. You would be pissed, right?
I would be upset.
I think Nick Young's a little bit scared of Gilbert Arenas, right?
I would say so. That's why he signed with the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
He can't be in LA anymore.
And then when he signed on to the Golden State Warriors, still chance of winning went down a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Usually it doesn't affect the line unless you get a big name like KD. Swaggy B, the 12th man off the bench, it took it down 2%, right?
Yeah.
So good stuff. How do you feel about the Clippers? We didn't talk about it.
Like Chris Paul leaving and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like we got a lot.
And you cutting yourself ever since it happened.
we got a lot in return for him. And we got Patrick Beverly and Chris Paul were both on the same All NBA first team.
Did you know
defensive
who
team.
Patrick Beverly was before last season?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. I don't know.
And I feel like we've been able to build more depth on our roster. How do you feel about the Lakers not getting Paul George?
I don't want Paul George. I think Paul George is one of the most overrated players in basketball. So you're gonna tell me that Oklahoma City has a chance now that they have Paul George on the team?
I don't think anyone has a chance in the NBA.
Yeah, I really don't think
Okay.
anyone has a chance of being Golden State. But they didn't prove that much by getting Paul George. I think he's an extremely overrated player.
But
It
didn't Paul
wouldn't-
George only sign a 1-year contract?
Yeah,
No,
I think he wants to come Lakers, and I don't want him to come Lakers at all.
I thought that was like his plan all along. Was
He recently did an
expressed it.
interview said like if Oklahoma City had an amazing year, then he would be stupid enough for him. It would be stupid for him to leave.
Wow. But isn't that, what's an amazing year? Losing the second round?
I guess it would be reaching conference finals, right? Because
Yeah,
that's.
But does anybody see that happening?
I don't know.
Do you see that happening? Oklahoma City, Western Conference Finals this year?
I don't
See,
really
she
pay
doesn't
attention
agree
to
with it
NBA.
Are you? Do you guys watch basketball in Arizona? I know the Suns are there, but I don't
But
know.
they're kind of there. Can you explain to me?
I told you that Tucson's a college town, so
Yeah.
So you guys
Arizona
just watch
basketball.
Arizona University of Arizona sports all day and
Yep.
don't pay attention to professional sports. You guys have a hockey team
I
there
was,
now.
I was actually telling my dad that when we were walking out of the baseball stadium. I said,
Where
it's
did
crazy.
sorry, I'm interrupting you. Do they have like an arena they play in, or
Who?
The hockey team?
The hockey team, like, do you guys...
In Tucson?
Downtown
Yeah.
Tucson.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you guys had an arena.
It's
Maybe they...
outside.
The man was telling a story, man. Come
It's
on.
on concrete. They have rollerblades. It's not ice skates. They have rollerblades.
Street
Oh,
hockey.
okay. I figured you just played, like, in University of Arizona's, like, quad area or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Alright.
No, I was telling my dad that it's crazy how like people in big cities they root like die hard for pro teams, and in Tucson that's not really the case because even though Phoenix is just a short drive away, but there's like a disconnect between the two cities,
I get it.
and it's like Tucson is such a college town that U of A is like everything.
Because I remember, like, Lex brings this up every once in a while, but he's always wondered, like, how people get into college sports.
Yeah,
And I was like, yeah, but, like, in a state like Nebraska, that's everything
that's
to them.
everything,
that's
yeah.
all.
You know, and when you're in a state like Ohio, when all their Cleveland teams suck for the majority of they root
For
for
your whole
Ohio
life,
State.
they suck,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? And then in LA, we didn't have a football team for a long time, so we root for
USC.
UCLA.
Yeah.
Not really UCLA, but
Yeah.
How do you feel about your boy from Arizona not getting picked up on the squad, Adrian?
Which one?
Who's the dude?
Kobe Simmons or whatever.
Comanche?
It just seems like a lot of people don't get picked up by the squad. So
Wait, what are you talking about though?
who's the good dude that his name's Kobe, right?
Yeah,
Kobe Simmons. Oh,
Yeah.
Brian's best friend.
yeah. I met him. He
He
didn't-
signed a deal with the.
He
with the
should have.
Grizzlies.
He should have.
Is it a deal or is it a two-way deal?
I think it's a two-way deal.
What's a two-way deal?
It's something on the lines of we're giving you money to be on the team, but technically we're most likely going to send you to the G League kind of thing. But you're going to be on the preseason roster, and we'll see what's going on.
You got him enough money to buy his mom a brand new Benz, so.
Well, that's bad. That's
Range
bad
Rover.
management,
Range
right?
Rover.
Yeah.
You don't have. Yeah. You don't have any guaranteed money. Why are you gonna go buy your mom a Benz, right? Does no one else sees the idiot think that's stupid?
Yeah. Buy your mom a Accord or something.
Yeah, buy your mom, dude. 100%. Get your mom a Honda Civic.
There's like a 2012 used Accord with maybe 80,000 miles. That's what you buy your mom when you get a two-way deal in the NBA.
Yeah, he's going to go into G League, man.
He's gonna go into G League, probably play in Europe, unless he just lights it up.
It just doesn't seem like the Arizona school system is doing anybody any service at all, right?
Wow.
How long was this guy at U of A?
A year.
Yeah, he definitely should have stayed a little bit longer, right? We
Yeah.
could all
I
agree on
agree. He
that.
should have stayed at least in the second year because he could have been in the top in the first round at least.
Like the best he's ever gonna be able to say is he's a gray area Hall of Famer now. That's it.
True. But no, he should have stayed another year. But I think the reason he left was because there was an issue of playing time. Because Arizona just
It seems
reloads
like
every
everybody in Arizona has an issue with playing time, right?
year. Well, because Arizona reloads every year.
Yeah, because you guys are so good.
Yeah, no,
What's the last?
Do you like the one and out rule?
One
not
and
really
done?
because some of the best teams, like my most favorite teams, are back in the day when people stayed at least 3 years.
Because you
figure
grow
out
up.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Because you get to learn about the players, and you can see him progress, and you want this guy to finally win one, as opposed to a guy just coming into college for 1 year. You don't know who the heck he is.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, what would you do if you're the commissioner of the NBA to solve it?
I'd take away the one and done rule.
And you make him stay in college for 4 years?
No, not necessarily, but I don't think they should go. If they
So you're a Commissioner Adrian. What would you do?
I'd eliminate the one and done rule.
So what does that
They
mean?
can go to the NBA right out of. High
But then
school.
you have underdeveloped players going to the NBA.
That's if they get drafted though.
Yeah, that's if they get drafted. So now they don't have a college education. Plus, they're going to be fizzled out in 2 years.
But that
playing
can be
in-
anybody.
forgot
That
what's-
can be me. I mean, I didn't go to the NBA, but I can fizzle out in 2 years. I don't have to have. I don't have to have a college
I
education.
forgot what's-
Again, the confidence that your brother has gained in the last couple years is just amazing, man.
I forgot what sport it was. It might be baseball. I don't think it's football. Where if you get drafted out of high school and you don't do well or you decide to stop, they're supposed to pay for your education. So
I know
if
baseball you can get
But
that.
they shouldn't, though, because if you want to make a stupid decision, why should we pay for that?
I agree. So, but I say if you are,
Well, if you don't want to work your butt off, why should
I would
us
make
taxpayers
it,
pay
if-
for it? You know what I'm
if,
saying?
If you have to
This guy
go,
knows what
if
I'm
you go
talking about.
to the G League right out of high school because you didn't make it to the NBA roster or whatever.
But you develop in college, though.
I should say you have to at least take online courses while you're playing for that G League team.
But what does
It should be
that
like-
mean? So you get your girlfriend to do
So
your
you get an
courses for
education just 'cause
But
it
you
doesn't pan
also
out.
get your girlfriend to do your online courses for you. What is that going to help out?
Well, then you get a degree.
See, it should be similar to the baseball draft because you can get drafted and say, I don't want to go to this team.
Yeah.
I don't like where I went. I can go to school, and that should be the case.
But baseball is different because you have all those years to develop.
Oh,
like
yeah, I
NBA,
understand that.
Because there's only 12 people on the squad for NBA.
You can get drafted originally out of high school, and you not go to the MLB. You not go to the minor leagues, but then you can get drafted again later on. You can resubmit your name to the draft. So if you say you don't get you submit your draft out of high school, and you don't get drafted, you can go to college for a year or go overseas, and then you can resubmit your name for the draft. In a year or two.
But NBA, those draft picks mean a lot. Because you only have a 12-man roster. In baseball, the Yankees have 4 teams. You know what I'm saying?
But what's the difference between the year? Like, say you go out of high school. Okay, say the rule now is you can't go out of high school. You go to college for a year. What happened? You fizzle.
You don't have to go to college. You go overseas, like
for
Brandon Jennings said.
But I'll say for the most part,
you got to be a year removed from high school.
When you go to a year, because I don't like the rule either. But if you were to have a 1 year in college ball, you're playing now. You're not playing against kids because you're sometimes playing against freshmen, sophomores, like teenagers in high school. You're playing against adults at the college level, and you're playing against some of the best colleges in the country and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like
just because you dominate your small league doesn't mean that you're ready for the NBA.
But I still think you should be able to. If you're 18 years old, you just graduated
you should be able to
high
make
school.
the choice.
You could, if you want to go to the NBA draft and you fail, and then you don't. Maybe you go to the G League. Maybe you go play in Europe. Maybe you quit. I don't know.
But people are stupid. Just how Kobe bought his mom this Bentley for being on the G League. You got to be able to protect them. You have to protect people from themselves.
Yeah,
right.
I agree, and I have also that's what the NFL does. You have to at least be 2 years out of high school or something.
Listen,
like
there's a big difference between. Why is that?
Because football is a much more physical sport.
And, college football is more of the minor league system in a way. Anyway,
yeah, you're getting out of high school and you can still be a scrawny kid.
But the same could apply to NBA too.
It's very much less of a
I hear what you're saying. Football is super, like you're putting your life on the line pretty much.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? You get knocked in the head. We see people get paralyzed maybe every other year.
There's kids in college that are retiring after their freshman season because they've had so many concussions or they blow out their ACL.
That actually happened in our high school. We had like a safety that was like a 4-star safety coming out of high school, went to UCLA and then quit playing after 1 year because he just didn't like it anymore.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm just saying you have to protect people from themselves because if you come from a low-income family, you are one of the top 10 high school prospects. Doesn't mean you're ready for NBA, but you say, hey, if I can make a little bit of money, you're going to do it, right?
Yeah.
And then you're not as developed as you should be, so you don't make the squad or you're sent down to G League. You get frustrated. Different things can happen, and now you don't reach your full potential because you went, you chased it too early. You have to develop, man. Your game has to develop.
I agree, but I think the rule forcing them to go to college might be worse too, because some kids can't handle being in school or they're not mature enough to play in the NCAA because of so many rules. So sometimes that's not best.
Stop because what? What could stop somebody?
Like selling your own jersey, selling your own shoes to get some money to get by. Because
so you can't handle it. I understand.
But I agree that they're getting scholarship money. They're getting free housing.
I'm not saying it's easy, but there isn't anything in life that's easy.
Yeah.
If your excuse is it's not easy for me to just go to college, that's not a good excuse.
I feel like if you're mature, if you can join the military at the age of 18, then you can decide if you want to go play in the NBA.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. But the NBA is a private-owned company. There's only 31 owners, and
they have
the right. They have the right to say this is what we want and this is what we don't want.
Yeah,
and if you don't like it, then go play in Italy. You know
exactly.
But that's every organization, though.
What's up?
That's every workforce, though.
Yeah,
they have
but
the ability to
I mean, you can say whatever you want, but the military is not privately owned. You can say it is whatever.
We'll say that for another podcast.
The John Cena hate over here thinks differently, but.
Like John Cena?
So I'll do my shout out, and I'm gonna shout out Rival Pro Wrestling and the Twinsies that we know.
Me and Doc Lesnar spoke on the phone for about 45 minutes because people respect my wrestling knowledge in the business. I don't
But
I've been watching for a couple years now.
Was that worth being on the phone with anybody for 45 minutes?
For Doc, it was.
Okay.
It was my girlfriend? No way. If it was any of you guys, wouldn't pick up the phone. Doc Lesnar, he gets the phone picked up every time.
I respect that.
So, Alexis, where can the people find you on? Who do you want to shout out this week?
They can find me at LexD909 on all social media. I'd like to shout out our good buddy Chris for always traveling like the entire world. Basically, he's in a different country like every month, it seems like, on Instagram. Super jealous of that. And then I want to shout out our other friend So for my second one, yeah. That is, so for my second one, I'd like to shout out MC Mega, good
Hell
friend.
no, man, no. I'm kidding.
Our good friend Brandon, Be the Wizard. He threw a Rick and Morty themed art show the other day, and from the rumors and from what I heard, he was even shocked. It brought out like literally hundreds, maybe even like 1,000 people in downtown Pomona.
I saw it on Instagram. It looked
and
crazy,
it was like an art show that kind of like in its own sense kind of went viral, and it got to the point where me and Jay Sevilla were about to go support, and he had brought his daughter, and he said he just texted me, right? He's like, hey, abort mission. Like, there's a line that's going all the way, like, through downtown Pomona.
That's cool.
And I guess Jay Sevilla even had a friend who was in there. He's like, hey, they're even, like, turning people away now because it was... Not only did it exceed the capacity of, like, the art room, but, like, the general area.
That's crazy.
And
Yeah,
so huge shout out to that. That's amazing.
So I got a question because we've always gray area. You know, remember when you gave me the all access pass and I basically walked in on you counting money and stuff like that.
So would you like to hear this great story about how Brian is so entitled to anything, anytime? I had a show with a rapper named Riff Raff. He's some loser, but I owed him $10,000 a night. So me and his manager are sitting there and we're counting out the money, and it's just me and him. And all of a sudden, somebody kicks the door down, says, "What's up, man? You ready to go?" And I looked up and I saw Brian Sanders. I said, "Dude, give me like 2 minutes." And the manager was ready to fight this guy because he thought he was there to rob us. And Brian couldn't figure out why anybody wouldn't want him there. He's like, "Oh, so you guys want me to wait outside?" Or I don't understand. So I said, "Yeah, dude, give us like 2 minutes." All right, fine. He walks out, walks back in, grabs a cookie, and walks back out again. And to this day, well, it's been a year maybe, right?
Yeah.
Brian cannot figure out why he was in the wrong in that situation. When there was $10,000 of cash on the table, and you kick down the door and say, "Hey, what's going on?"
Didn't you say you wish your kid has as much confidence?
When I pray to God that I'm blessed to have a kid, and I don't want him to have my confidence because this is just me covering insecurities. If he could have Brian's confidence, that kid will be the president of the United States. I can't even imagine that type of confidence. It's one of the I think about it every night. I sit up in bed and I said, how can this guy that looks like this have this much confidence and feel like he owns everything? It's unbelievable.
So my question for Lex was, being Lex D and you're good friends with Mega, we're all good friends with Mega.
Yeah.
Couldn't you just like jump in front of that line and say, "Hey, Mega, what's up?"
Because if it was anything that I was doing, you guys would be in front of me.
So
you,
like,
Steven, and Lex were on stage, and you guys couldn't figure it out, right?
Yeah, we're on stage behind Riff Raff, watching Riff Raff's performance. I didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
But I was there. And
well, I got news for you. The 100 people in the crowd didn't want to be there either.
So, do you think you could have just jumped in front of the line?
Well, it's crazy because from like all the people, like from all the different people who were talking about it and who were there, this was an insane amount of people there. And so, like, one, I didn't want to, like, try to, like, pull, like, oh yeah, let me pull strings and try to get there. But also, Jay Sevilla had his daughter with him, so it would be too hectic of a situation for him to be there. Okay. So, because what we wanted to do was just, since we were gonna meet up just to like rehearse, anyways, for a set that we're doing this next upcoming Saturday in Oxnard. But but
yeah,
no, you don't have to mark that.
No, mark it. If you had an issue with anybody, I would lay my life on the line for it. So you want to just get me upset and get my blood pressure. You know I'm not a healthy man. You saw how much I drank today just on the regular Sunday afternoon, right? You saw how much I ate.
When you're wondering, should you grab the water or the whiskey? And then you drink the water and you spit it out.
I said, what is this bullshit? What is this crap? I got my whiskey, dude.
Yeah.
Can we tell the story about how we went to the liquor store today and the cashier, does not have a tongue. He doesn't have a tongue.
He doesn't have what?
He doesn't have a tongue, and he can't speak.
Yeah.
And Lex had the nerve to say, "Always good talking to you, man," and walked away like a jerk.
like Lex, and then Lex walks out the door and he whispers to us like, "Hey,
that was vodka.
That's poor customer service."
Yeah,
that was vodka, by the way.
So Lex like so much like, "Oh, you did ask me how much he owed you.
Yeah, okay.
You owed
so
him, right?"
That's where I felt like I did, because I was just like, dude, he's not telling me how much I owe him. And like, I couldn't see because of the glare on the register. So I was just like,
And he kept
so how
pointing
much
to
is
it, right? And
No,
you're like,
no.
why won't he just tell me?
I was just like, how much is it? And I was like, I'll just give him a couple like fives or whatever, see if that covers it.
So, Lex.
And then Lex says, always good talking about you.
that was Baka.
No, don't put that on me. Don't put your insecurities on me.
I'm going to hit my friend Mega.
Yes.
And I'm going to say, hey, next time my boy Lexi's in Pomona, he needs to get in front of that line. All right, I'll do that for you.
Dude, it's so crazy. That's so good to hear too. Because shouts out to Mega. He's the guy who produces like, or has produced like 80% of like any music I've ever put out. But yeah, that's so.
So it's good that he found
so
something
dope.
else to do.
What happened?
He said that's good that he found something else to do. Adrian.
We'll have Andy.
No, if Andy wants.
Yeah, I want to shout out the real Mega. Shout out to Megadeth. He battled this weekend. I don't know how it went.
Who'd he battle?
Didn't he battle Bangs? Was that this weekend?
I don't know. I don't follow those type of things.
I don't
man.
either. But
I just take the money. You know what I'm saying? You are well. September.
What's more embarrassing?
August 4th.
Battle rap or
Lexington
wrestling?
At this point, I would say battle rap. Right?
I think battle rap's probably the
I
most
think battle
embarrassing
rap's a
thing
little
I've
more
ever done in my life. But I love it. Yeah, shout out to Megadeth.
And where can they find you at?
Oh, find us on Instagram at Jordan River Recordings and Facebook at Jordan River Recordings. Recording, mixing, mastering, all that good stuff.
Jasmine, what's your Instagram? Remember when Jasmine said she doesn't like hanging out with us?
Yeah.
I never said that.
Sounds like something you said.
I don't recall, but
Okay.
my Instagram's at native.peach.
Nice.
How many tattoos do you have?
I lost count.
Do you think you have more than?
Lex lost count too.
do you think you have more than 15 tattoos?
No.
Okay, so yeah, because you know me and Brian, 6 tattoos. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
pretty
we're-
life, you know.
Basically, I'm running out of skin to put all the ink at.
No, you'll make more.
I appreciate that, Andy.
Mr. Adrian, what can
Yeah,
they?
faith in me.
Adrian, what can they find you at?
Before we go, last week before the podcast when we recorded, Andy comes up to me right before the podcast and says, "Hey Brian, it looks like you lost some weight," and I had the biggest smile.
And Brian was in a bad mood
Yeah.
like the whole day too.
Yeah, and then I just all the little clouds and the raindrops in my life just went away, and the sunshine just came out, and I smiled so big.
Yeah, you look beautiful, man.
It must be
appreciate
tough.
you.
Must be tough living at home with your mom, right?
Yeah.
It must be a little depressing. Such a tough life, dude.
It's pretty depressing.
I take that back. It probably is depressing. So
You know how many times I've had women hit me up and they'll be like, "Does your mom live at home?"
yeah.
None.
And I'll be like, "Yeah, I live with my mom," and then no text back.
There you go.
That's the story
Just
of my
sound
life.
like your roommate.
Yeah, I got,
Well, you
I got
have
a
to
couple
do
of roommates, my mom and the guy she's sleeping with.
Lex.
Well, you have to do that thing like my mom's going through something right now, so I'm helping her out, pay the
yeah.
bills, and now you seem like a good son that, hey, family comes first.
It seems like they moved into your
Hey,
house.
your room's pretty decorated for a transition.
And they got the
Hey,
big room too.
where do you keep all your other stuff? Here.
Adrian, where can they find you at? And who do you want to shout out?
I'll shout out my boy Eric. That was part of the story.
Because if you were going to shout tacos, I was going to put my foot down the that
No, you can shout out to my boy Eric. He actually has his own radio show where he talks about wrestling.
Wow.
It's called
It's a wrestling podcast.
Well,
It's
that's a
called
bit of a
very
thing.
much different because we're not a wrestling
We're not
podcast.
and you got to stop telling people that. This is like the 5th time we had this conversation, right?
Yeah.
We're a
He's
sports
telling all these people that
podcast,
that
according to
we're
Lex.
wrestling podcast, but not, dude.
We're a bunch of friends that
We're
get
lifestyle
together.
podcast.
Yeah.
We're the podcast about nothing,
Yeah, there you go.
yeah his show is called Small Package,
which is
real
totally
talk,
great for Eric.
real talk about a fake sport.
I could probably.
Well,
be
there's
on
not about it because it's not fake. So this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. So.
He really-
that. Wrestling's real to me, damn it.
And you can find me on Instagram at Adrian on the Knobs. You can find us on Snapchat at Jordan River REC.
Real friend in the booth.
And you can hit us up
Real
for
Baka
any
in the booth.
recording, mixing, mastering.
Real Polynesian
The
in the
guy's
booth.
doing a
podcast.
shout out. You guys are stepping all over him. The guy's shouting them out, and you guys
That's
are
why I
laughing
have
at the
editing
mic.
cards.
It's
I'm
You're,
It's
you're stepping all
unbelievable.
over us right now, Baka.
It's
Can chill out.
crazy.
We're making jokes.
Go ahead, man.
Settle down.
You can find
Stick
me
up
on,
for yourself.
You can find me on Instagram at Adrian on the Knobs, on Snapchat.
We'll keep the first take you did.
Yeah, at Jordan River REC, and hit us up for any recording, mixing, mastering, or any podcasts.
Do you have an Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
What's your Instagram?
It's Annalicia14.
It's about to blow up after this. about to blow
Getting
up.
at least 4
You're
followers.
gonna get at least 5 followers. I think. So
I said 4. That's
There you
ambitious.
my name is Young Baka. This is the brand split. I always have to think, what's wrong with me? I have to think I should know which show I'm on, right?
Hey, you just don't care as
Well,
much.
you do so many too.
Well, I think you and Nympho look a little bit alike, so it's hard. So I see you, and I don't. It's hard for me to process it. You know.
Okay.
What about Mike Wright? Mike, you got Instagram? No, I don't. You got Snapchat?
We're trying to convince him to get Snapchat.
You got Twitter?
We're trying to convince him to get a Snapchat.
Yeah.
I want to.
No, you don't want to
Yeah.
snap. You don't want to Snapchat.
I want to.
You don't want to cover this beautiful face up with filters. I'll tell you what. You need to get him on Instagram. Oh yeah, you want to shout anybody out?
Yeah, I'll have to shout out my wife.
There you go.
Norma.
Yeah. I was gonna say if you don't shout them out, she's gonna listen to this podcast. Be like, all right, what's going on? You know?
And this is a good episode that she can listen to.
Yeah.
I feel like we did a good job. It was tough.
Minimal swear
No, it
words.
wasn't.
Good,
It wasn't
good job,
tough.
everybody.
It wasn't tough.
I want to appreciate the Rice family
Yes.
for joining us on the podcast.
It means a lot.
Thank
does.
you.
Thanks for allowing them to be on.
But
It was fun.
Anybody who's in this room with us is always going to be on the brand split.
That's true.
All right, my name is Young Baka. You can find me at Young Baka, at Young Baka Productions. I want to give a shout out to my boy Lego. He's been hosting a lot of shows. He's been holding it
Are
down.
those little shows or?
He's been doing a lot of stuff. It's just the disrespect is
I'm
unbelievable.
not disrespecting. You said last week on the podcast that he's been doing little shows.
No, he does when he does my shows, the good shows. When he does his own stuff, when he wants to branch out on his own. You know what? I want to take my shout out back. No, I want to shout out my boy Lego. He's the man. He's always hustling. They towed Lego's car on Friday.
That's the worst.
That it was so bad. He parked across the street. He went inside the venue, and I said, "Hey, did you pay for it across the street?" And he said, "I didn't know I was supposed to." He goes back, and his car is already gone. Literally 15 minutes. It cost him $350 to get it back out.
That's the
He
worst.
did it. He was a champ. You know, we went to the chicken spot afterwards, and it was all good. So we out.
All right.
Brand split. Baka podcast. Forum. Peace out. So the Anna Baka Foundation is collecting. I can't do it because I just feel like you're making a joke over there, Brian. So it's hard for me to be serious. You're just being you, and it's bad enough, man. Leave this on the podcast too. The Anna Baka Foundation is doing a back to school drive for the boys at Life Circle Group Home. We're looking for backpacks. We're looking for notebooks. We're looking for highlighters, colored pencils, whatever it is. If you're interested in making a donation, if you have any other questions, you can find us at the Anna Baka Foundation at gmail.com, and we'll make sure we put the link in the description of this episode. Brian is a bad guy. Lex is getting better. Andy's just a cancer to the podcast. Adrian, when he's not drunk, he's really cool. So, we out. Make sure you leave all that in too. That's good.